We're not live. That's my fault. And we are live, and we are getting ready to go racing here. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you do like our coverage of the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split. And feel free to subscribe to the channel. We have less than 200 subscribers to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark. So help us by hitting that subscribe button right now. We can't get there without you. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash the like and click the bell so you don't miss out on more of future Race First iRacing broadcasts. So let's get into it in the Granite State, and let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
On the pole meister himself,
Yeah.
Adriano Pinero, the defending series champion, starts that number one machine first, as we expect, with a 22.362. Alongside him, the number 5 of Alexandre Regon with a 22.4. Row number 2, Bruno Miranda's number 9, and the first driver in the 22.5s. Alongside him will be Mark Murphy's number 3. Andrew Marquez, my teammate, actually, in the Lionheart IndyCar Series at Alcantech NHR Esports. He will start 5th here tonight in a great one-off appearance so far. Alongside him will be Ryan Eric King in the 19, another old buddy of ours. Adriano Fraporti starts 7th in the number 10 alongside, hey, look, another friend of ours. It's Dakota DeMaid in the number 6. Bruno Romanzini in the number 13 will start 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is the 18 of Drew White. Trey Shadid will start his number 4 machine in 11th alongside the 7 of Matthew Mercer. Both of them will have some work to do for sure. Brian Spots in the number 11 starts 13th, and look at that, it's another old friend of ours, is the boss man Matt Houston in the number 12. Frank Irwin Jr. in the number 16 will start 15th, alongside the 15 of Gil Ribeiro starting 16th. Stephen Lee in the number 8 will start 17th. He's the first of the drivers not to post a qualifying time, alongside the 14 of Alan Morea. And the final row of the grid, Ryan Battle in the number 17, great name by the way, and the 20 of Freddie Yuto Garcia rounds out the 20 cars that will take the green flag tonight in top split at the Magic Mile.
Under formation at the moment, going down the back stretch along the viewing mounds there on the outside of the course.
Very nice setting, of course, and a very fun road course runs up along those hills here at this track. Sadly, we're not using that tonight. It's actually the layout I prefer. But regardless of that, I think we're in for some fun times tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Pinero once again making a bid at a 2nd championship in a row. He's going to have some good opportunity for that tonight. Green flag already flying right when the pace car peels off, and Pinero with the jump already into 1.
Wow, Regon was not even alongside. It was almost like he was holding back, preventing the other two.
Look at Murphy on the outside of Miranda for P3.
Yeah, it was almost like we got a car spinning, I think, down the backstretch. Do we? Nope, we don't. I saw someone pull out and get wide. Yeah, that start, it was almost like Regon was like blocking row 2 from getting any good start there on Pinero. Kind of an odd start, but that's when you have teammates up at the front. So notice the lines they're running here, though.
A lot of different lines you can take, and as I mentioned before, it drives kind of the opposite of the Milwaukee Mile, which is similar in length but different in driving style. You look at a lot of the lines they're running, a lot of them are running that medium groove in the higher part of the lighter gray towards the bottom of the track there. It's a little bit off camber. It can get you a bit of pace if you're able to get the power down well, but a lot of guys you can see all the way up on that top side. I believe that was Drew White in the 18. He's running way up out into the black stuff.
Take a look at Drew White. There he is, making headway on the high line in the lanes 3 and 4. And now he's right on the attenuator of Dakota DeMaid.
This battle right here of top 5, Ryan Eric King, Andrew Marquez, Adriano Fraporti, Dakota DeMaid, and Drew White. This seems to be the close battle out on the track. Pinero's already opened up a 1-second lead over Regon right now, working lap number 4. But Regon and Murphy also getting close together in a battle for P2. And already Dakota DeMaid having a peek down the inside of Fraporti into turn 1. Not quite able to get up alongside him the way he needed to. Fraporti was kind of slow there in the middle of the corner there. I think Dakota sensed the chance, but it's kind of a trap that you can lure the other driver into here.
Yeah, it looks for 40 might be doing the easy in, fast off, while Dakota might be doing the fast in and, well, the opposite.
There he goes.
There he goes
Yeah.
that time, and he pulls that one off.
I don't know if Raporti just made an error there or let him go there, because Dakota went zooming by there on that low side.
Here's Drew White taking a look. Drew White sporting the Team Watson livery, so another member of the Team Scandia of IndyCar racing.
Very much so. And Bruno Romanzini now side by side with Drew White. This is for 9th position, and Romanzini is indeed going to get it done on the low side there. We're seeing a lot more low side passes than, frankly, I expected so far.
Romanzini again really closing in on Fraporti there through 3 and 4.
And he definitely is. And Fraporti's running that really high groove there. And seems like he's trying to keep, like, what he's aiming for is momentum off the corner here because of the way the banking is. But it seems to be costing him some time everywhere else, really. But meanwhile, I'm seeing Dakota DeMay starting to put the pressure on Andrew Marquez for P6.
So aside from the track report of you're not running the bottom as a normal flat 1 mile oval, actually each end is not identical unless it kind of got fixed when they did one of the repaving jobs. It used to be a slight rise and then a quick downhill portion going into 3 that they had here for the original New Hampshire race back in '92 when the IndyCars first came here. And the drivers are saying that they had to drive each end of the racetrack a little bit differently, unlike Milwaukee where you kind of drive each end the same. Not really seeing that right here, but each end of the racetrack, I would not be surprised. We got a spinner, and that takes out 2.
He takes Drew White with him. Was that Drew White? Yes,
that
it
was. Drew White.
Caution is out.
That was Romanzini.
Bruno Romanzini just lost it in 3 and 4 there, it looks like. Trying to put the pressure on Fraporti in front of him for 8th. Just lost it on his own, and sadly, Drew White is just an innocent bystander.
Yeah, this is where I would say that we might see some issues as the tires get worn. As under acceleration, you put down full power, and then the back end of that car comes out. And that was more of an incident under power rather than having to do anything on corner exit with the roll bars or the weight jacker. And unfortunately, Drew White, innocent bystander.
And I can say from having sampled the setup before the race started, that seemed like the area that would catch out drivers the most. It's how you put the throttle down on exit, not so much the entry that'll bite you, whether it's getting on too much and understeering on exit, or like what you just saw with Romanzini, bit too low, getting too much grip in the rears, and it sends you around.
If you're just joining us, this is race first coverage of the 4D RACEWEAR Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split, coming to you from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where we have completed just a handful of laps for scheduled 85. So you're still here at the beginning. You haven't really missed anything yet. If you're enjoying race first coverage of the Monday Night Indy Fixed Top Split and would like to monetarily support our commentary team, make sure you support via our GoFundMe link in the description for your convenience so you don't lose track of any of the action. You can donate right now and still listen to our call of the race. All you have to do is right click on the link in the description, go to our GoFundMe page in another tab, and make your donation. When you're done submitting, you can come right back here and you haven't missed a thing. It's just that easy. Thanks for spending time with us tonight here at not Milwaukee, in New Hampshire.
Part of me wishes I was at Milwaukee, but hey, we gotta be where we gotta be. But looking at the situation right now under the yellow, only 2 cars have come onto pit road during this caution, and it's both of the race first drivers, Dakota DeMate and Matt Houston.
A little early, or you think they're going to go on a extreme fuel save?
It could be possible. One thing I think they'll definitely be banking on is more yellow. I believe it would be about 65 laps normally that you could be able to get fuel mileage wise here, if I'm not mistaken. It seems like fuel mileage is a bit better here than at Milwaukee due to the lower speeds. But once again, DeMay and Houston are both coming onto pit road again. I also see Freddie Yudo Garcia in the number 20 also on pit road as well under this caution. He's down and away once more, and so is DeMay and Houston. So they're probably just topping off their tanks on this one to get as much fuel as they possibly can. And this was the last chance to do it. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready for green again. So it's going to be quite a stretch for them, I would imagine. Though I'm hesitant to count them out at this point. A lot can happen.
Getting ready to go green here. Field is shortly going to be under the command of Adriano Pinero. Mark Murphy second, Ragon third, Miranda fourth, Ryan Eric King fifth. And we are green flag back at the Magic Mile.
Pinero once again with a big jump there. Caught Mark Murphy in the dust right there, and now he's actually leaving Ragon. Ragon got a bad exit off at turn number 2. Here comes Bruno Miranda looking to the inside into turn number 3. Side by side, but Ragon seems to have that grip on the high side to his advantage. And now Ryan Eric King looking to get in on the situation.
Ryan, of course, our broadcast partner on Wednesday nights for the RIL, making an appearance here in the top split. Doing pretty good here, showing in the top 5 very early on here. And right behind him, your teammate for the Lionheart Series, IndyCar Series, Andrew Marquez in P6.
Indeed, and I see him running the team colors, actually, that beautiful white Alcantech NHR livery on him. Nice of you showing the colors, of course, Andrew. And he's doing pretty good right here. You normally see him in the Indy Open Series, as well as Lionheart, of course, and a few other leagues. But he figured that he would want to give this a shot. He wanted actually to make an appearance in the season finale last season, but unfortunately circumstances prevented him from doing so, and he figured that, hey, may as well give it a shot tonight.
Wow, look how running along the on board with him right now. Down to as low as 3rd gear in the middle of the corners. Again, if this is your first time watching IndyCar, you've kind of watched the trucks or Xfinity or the Cup Series here. And like, hey, they don't shift at all. They just kind of turn and muscle it through with working the throttle. IndyCar drivers have their hands full every single lap here.
Indeed, we do. With the shifting that you normally do here, trying to get as much RPM as you can to give yourself the best corner exit, but also the tools you have in the car as well. You can adjust the front and rear anti-roll bars as well as the weight jacker. And here comes Marquez looking to the inside of King. Not quite enough this time, though. King running that medium groove there. Marquez up on the high line trying to get a great launch on exit. Look at that.
Yeah, he did. We're still running on board. And when I said wreck, that's Ryan Eric King's his initials REK. So just a short though, we call him wreck. But he is not known to do a lot of that. But he is side by side right now. With Andrew Marquez right along board with Ryan Eric King onto the high side, just in that I guess I would say there's a newest paving up top, and then there's a newer or a second level of paving. He's in that second layer right there, the first 3 lines, the first 3 lanes.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be so, and the banking, of course, works a little bit different, as well as the grip levels up on that higher groove as opposed to the lower sort of lighter colored asphalt than you would normally see up in the middle of the corner there in each of them. So it depends on how well you enter it there. It always seems like it's a bit off camber way down the low side of both of them. It's like banked in the opposite direction that what you would expect on the low side of the track in the middle. So you're going to have to take that into account. It's basically like running over a really big bump, and if you get it wrong, it'll send you around.
Well, here's a big battle for P7. We got a quad of cars here that are looking to fight it out now. Right now it's for Porty, Shadid, Ribeiro, and spots. Of course, Ribeiro, I don't know if he's related to possibly Andre Ribeiro that won here back for Honda back in '95 or not, but he is currently running that Brazilian colored car right there like the flag in P9, and he is all over the back end of American Trey Shadid.
Believe me, if Gil Ribeiro is related to Andre Ribeiro, that would be amazing. I'm not sure if he is or not, but it'd be amazing if he was, and he'd probably be doing his compatriot a lot of justice if he were to get a great result here at, again, you said the place where Andre Ribeiro scored Honda's first win in IndyCar.
Yep.
And now he's having a look all over that rear attenuator of Trey Shadid. And Shadid, meanwhile, is trying to put a lot of pressure on for Porty, who's losing ground to Marquez and King in front of him. And I think this is kind of the game plan I'm seeing with Porty, playing heavy on defense right now. He's trying to maintain that position because, well, track position, of course, can be very critical, especially for a long green flag run, like perhaps what Porty is expecting. And Shadid, meanwhile, trying to make hay while the sun shines. He wants to be able to get past him and close up on Marquez and King ahead.
Tight battle for P2 at the moment. Mark Murphy, Andre Ragon. Murphy being able to hold him off. Looks like Ragon is a little bit faster at the turns 3 and 4 as he closes up there on exit. But it looks like Murphy a little bit better and stronger down the straights and in 1 and 2.
Certainly looks that way right now. And one thing I'm noticing where Ragon is running, he got a good run off the corner there that time. Let's see if he can close up a little bit more. But one thing I'm noticing, you're running, and that the drivers who run high on entry, low on exit, they get great launches off the corner, but it can cost them a lot of speed in the entry to the corner. So that's the game that these guys are going to have to play. How much of a balance are you going to have to strike in the middle of the corner there? And Ragon, once again, as you said, he looks like he's got the quicker car right now. He's closing right up on Murphy. And has a peek to the inside right now in 3.
Just could not close the gap there in the middle of the corner. Tonight's race coverage was brought to you by 4D RACEWEAR. 4Ds are the makers of ultimate gear and apparel designed specifically for sim racing. Check them out today on 4dracewear.com or click on the link in today's stream.
Ragon still not giving up the ghost on this one. Holding that higher groove on the lower gray asphalt of the track right there. Seems to be where a lot of people want to run here. As once again, he goes to the inside. There. Murphy, bit slow on entry there. Ragon slow on exit, though. Murphy playing good defense right now. This is the line you want to run if you want to prevent most passes from happening. Murphy still holding on to the spot, of course. Ragon once again closing up. See what he can do this time. Way up into the gray. In 1 and 2. Can Ragon get the run on exit? Not quite enough this time. Meanwhile, behind him, similar situations playing out for 5th place between Ryanair King and Andrew Marquez.
Yeah, that battle's been going on since the restart.
Here comes Marquez looking to the inside on the 19. Still side by side. Ooh, bit low there for Andrew. I think he's going to have to back out of that one. Yeah, he does. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch there.
A twitch on exit.
Gotta be careful, Andrew. Track can easily bite you right like that. King running a fairly low line there in 3 and 4.
Got 2 Lionheart competitors right here. We got Ryanair King of the Speedway Series. We got Andrew Marquez of the IndyCar Series. Top of their games. Let's see how they pull this off so far. Making it super clean at the moment.
And of course, Marquez and I both competed in the Lionheart Indy 500 this past Sunday. I unfortunately was involved in an incident relatively early on. Marquez kept going, though. He finished 14th on the day. Very solid result, no doubt, out of a 38-car field. But he's looking to do quite a bit better here tonight, and perhaps even showing that he was actually telling me he was having some issues with his pedals yesterday during that race, and apparently for what he's told me, he's gotten them rectified, and it seems like he's putting them to good use here tonight.
We have not talked about this guy very much. There's Bruno Miranda. He's in P4. Of course, Bruno, wherever he goes, has a solid fan following in chat. Hello to all you from Brazil, Yukos Esport Hollinger team.
And Miranda holding on to P3, but looks like he is certainly losing ground to King and Marquez, and to say nothing of Murphy, Ragon, and Pinero ahead of him. And this battle, this 2-car battle right now for 5th, could turn into a 3-car battle for 4th.
A little further up the road, Pinero now with a 4.7 second lead over Murphy and Ragon.
Fantastic drive once again.
Close to the wall there on exit.
Ooh, very close there. Working lap number 38. Pinero running very smooth right now. Sort of running a lower line right now, but he's using pretty much all of the racetrack he possibly can, as Marquez once again looks to the inside on Ryanair King. King way up high there. He's going to get the launch on exit. Marquez leads over the stripe. Can King get back at him, though? Marquez on the low side. He clears him for now.
I think Marquez has this one.
Indeed he does. Move Marquez up to P5. And now he's set his sights on Bruno Miranda ahead of him. King's definitely not going to give this one up lightly, though.
Looking up ahead of the road there a little bit, a little further up your screen, right behind Ryan Eric King. Trey Shadid has broken away from that battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th that we saw a little while ago. So there's Shadid, there's Brian Spots in the 8th spot right there. Well, there he is in that blue, white, and green, or that blue, black, and green car. And then Ribeiro right behind him in 9th, and Fraporti is now back in 10th. And then right behind them is this is where the beehive of activity is right here. It's Marrera, Battle, Lee, and now Dakota DeMade is working his way in, who might be trying to do this on a fuel economy run.
That could well be the game plan. Of course, everybody else around them has to pit. And green flag pit stops at New Hampshire, they'll easily send a driver one lap down. And if you get a caution afterwards, that is going to be a death knell to whatever chance you may have. That may well be the game that Dakota DeMay and Matt Houston are playing tonight. Oh, very close there. It was almost contact between Stephen Lee and Alan Morea off of 2.
Yeah, about 3 wide there just before I cut the camera away. I want to take a look here at Matt Houston. There he is. He does have the leader of the race right behind him. Matt probably is going to get lapped here, but Fraporti needs to stop here probably within the next 20 or so laps.
Working lap number 44, it would be about 20 laps or so, the longest you can probably go right now. We're definitely within the window right now, so a lot of options are on the table for these drivers. And it really depends on what their outlook of this race is. If we do get another caution, of course, everyone's going to want to come in under the yellow. But if we keep going green, there's a lot of options ahead of them. And I think a lot of them are not exactly going to be banking on no yellows, I'm going to say.
Whoa. Fraporti Pinero right up, and Matt just kind of scoots up into the highest lane and lets him by. Matt, I don't think has ever left the extreme black asphalt up top there. He's staying right up in that lane number 4 as Pinero has been working exclusively in lanes 2 and 3, working his way around this track.
And looking at their lap times by comparison, Pinero last time by with a 23.0, Matt Houston with a 23.7.
Yeah.
So line doesn't seem to be working too terribly well. Perhaps his tools are not quite in the right position right now, or again, as we mentioned, he could be all the way up in fuel map 5.
I think we're on a fuel mileage run there. If I had to guess, they're on a fuel mileage run.
Looking at Dakota DeMay,
sorry,
the other driver on the strat, he's with a 23.4 and 23.5 last time by.
And where they pitted last time was right about the border of where you would want to stop or where the window would open. So let's see if these guys can do it. They're the only two on that strategy, right? Well, Freddie Udo Garcia is as well. He'll recover that lap here, hopefully, when everyone else pits. But those are the only 3 cars off strat. Right now, everyone that has started the race on the original set of tires, original set of fuel, is, well, they're pretty much holding the stand pat right now, as your leader is Pinero, followed by Ragon Murphy. Looks like Ragon got the position back from Murphy. I'm not sure what happened there. Murphy is in a big battle right now with
Murphy
Miranda.
Side with Miranda for P3. Miranda got a great run there, held up by a lap car, it looks like.
Yeah, and here comes Andrew Marquez to try to get involved here. That looks to be Freddie Udo Garcia right there in that purple car.
Marquez gets a great launch off the corner that time. He's closing up on Murphy. Murphy struggling right now after Miranda got by him. Still looking down to the low side right there. Caution's out. Caution is out. Trying to see who it is.
Ryan Battle coming off of corner number 2.
Ryan Battle in the number 17. Looks like single car incident, just bit too much on the throttle there, just sends him around on exit.
Yeah, and this is a home race for Ryan. He's from Club New England, and he's coming, gets a little high, hits the power. Whoop, there it goes. I don't think he really hits much of anything. Very reminiscent to what happened to Elio Castroneves in the 2011 race. At the start of the race there, a number of cars actually at the start of that race just kind of exit off of 2 and just kind of ride around. And very reminiscent there. It doesn't look like he hit anything, but just probably damaged his pride a little bit, and now brings the whole field under caution, and now everyone is surely going to pit. We'll see if Dakota and Matt stay out.
Pinero, of course, coming in, and Ragon, Miranda, Murphy, Marquez, King, and Shadid all coming in. I think Freddie Udo Garcia's in as well, but the pits are closed for lap cars right now. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, maybe he's not watching or so. So Dakota is going to stay out, and he's going to cycle to the top. Now, the interesting thing here, and let's find Dakota. Okay, no, I was wondering if those other cars were behind him, and if that's the case, he'd be kind of screwing his teammate, Matt Houston. But all those cars in front of him are going to get the wave around, and so that's going to give the lead to Dakota, and he is kind of in a sitting duck position right now. That caution came out at a very opportune time for everybody in the field except those 3 that stopped right about lap 14.
But what's interesting as well is that 2 other drivers are staying out for the moment too. It's Alan Marea and Matthew Mercer, who I don't believe came in on that previous caution. And now we have some of the lap cars coming in, and indeed, Marea and Mercer are staying out.
Yeah, showing them as a lap down, or now they'll get the wave around.
Oh, yeah, they are a lap down. My apology.
They will get the wave around here, I think.
Yeah, they will get the wave around alongside Matt Houston. Ryan Battle is, of course, on pit road. Frank Irwin, Freddie Udo Garcia. A lot of lap cars are coming in as well, so that will move the number 6 of Dakota DeMay up to the race lead. Right behind him, though, probably the one driver he never wants to be ahead and wants to risk racing against, it's Adriano Pinero. And, of course, everyone else behind him, they're good to go on fuel. They have no need for fuel saving. Dakota, though, he's, of course, going to be up in map 8 under this caution.
I think he can make it probably at this point. I think so.
He probably could. The question is, how many positions is he going to lose out? Or how well is he going to be able to defend his top spot right now from everyone else behind him?
We shall see. As I believe all those cars are getting the wave around there. Or we'll get the wave around, I think, this time by. Now, there they go.
Marea, Mercer, and Houston sent around.
Okay, so, again, if you're not familiar with the wave around rules for IndyCar racing, restarts are always determined by the leader. So the pace car is doing exactly that, picking up the leader right now, and then we'll pull off in corner number 4, give the field the control to Dakota. Dakota then will have a choice of when he wants to start at that point. But all those cars that were between the pace car and the leader here, Dakota made, they all got a wave around, so they go to the back end of the pack, and some can recover a lap. Some we're already on the tail end of the lead lap. They're just getting a little bit closer to the leader now. So that's how the IndyCar wave around rule works. There's no lucky dogs or anything involved here. It just so happened that they were between the leader and the pace car, and we're getting ready to go green. Dakota wastes no time, and we are green flag back underway, lap 56 of 85.
Dakota DeMay trying to make the most of the golden opportunity given to him. He's going to be leading this time. Of course, he's still going to have to fuel save a little bit in order to get to the end. Adriano Pinero, of course, will probably know that. But meanwhile, behind him, Miranda and Ragon about to get into a tussle for P3.
Yeah, I think, I'm sorry, let me cut you off. I think Pinero might just stay patient here and see what happens between himself and Dakota. Dakota getting really high on exit there, too. Keeps it off the wall, but he is just maintaining kind of vision here, maintaining sight of Dakota, not letting them get too far away, reeling him in a little bit, as a matter of fact. But I don't think he's going to push the issue, knowing that Dakota has tires that are 44 laps old.
Miranda and Ragon, they're in the wall! Caution is out!
And there we go.
Well, this only helps Dakota DeMade's case even more, but contact between two of the front runners puts both of them in the wall. Looks to me, just Ragon gets into the back of Miranda in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he just plowed right on into him. So take another look at that one.
Yeah, like looking at the onboard of Ragon right now, he just sends it into the corner. I don't think he realized that Miranda was as slow in the middle as he was, and just doesn't realize it quickly enough, and kaboom. But that is front wing gone and suspension destroyed on that number 5.
That was arc a brake right into the tail end of. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Bruno's not going to be happy about that one.
Undoubtedly not, and his fans, of course, are going to be grieving in the comments section, and we grieve with you, my friends. That was really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Perhaps a bit over-aggressive, you could argue.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I know we're getting closer to the end, but there's still limits you got to consider.
So once again, if you are just joining us, you are watching RACEWEAR's coverage of the round at New Hampshire Motor Speedway of the 4D RACEWEAR Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split. We're currently Dakota DeMade leads with 25 laps to go. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. The FIS is getting ready to start shortly here. If you're not familiar with that, that's the Race First Formula Indy Series. And that will be getting ready to start here in a couple weeks. Definitely click the bell so you're notified of future Race First broadcasts, including that. And, of course, coverage of the RIL on Wednesdays. That's the Revolution IndyCar League on Wednesdays.
Of course, everyone else has just come on to pit road under that last caution. No need to come back in again. And of course, as I mentioned, this only helps Dakota DeMade's fuel situation all the more. He may be a bit more secure in getting it to the end on, I believe that would be 70 laps on a tank if he were to make it all the way.
Well, these cautions are just, like you said, helping him more and more.
Yep, and Pinero, as you mentioned, probably not taking it too aggressive for the time being. Just wants to keep DeMade within earshot of him. And the same can be said looking at Mark Murphy. He wants to get going pretty soon. I believe we're not... Yeah, we have 1 lap to green, I believe. Yeah, but it's Dakota DeMade, Pinero, Murphy, Marquez, and King right now, your 5.
Yeah, looking at them as they're making their way down the front straight here. Lights are out on the pace car. We are going to go green next time by. Trey Shadid, P6. Brian Spots, P7. Gil Ribeiro, P8. Stephen Lees worked his way up to P9. For Porty, hanging on there in the bottom portion of the top 10 in a P10. Alan Morera, P11. Matthew Mercer in P12. Matt Houston, again on that fuel run. He is back in 13th and the last car on the lead lap.
Kind of shows an interesting dichotomy of how the strategies worked out for both of the race first drivers. DeMade running this strategy but having to be in a better position. He's leading the race. Houston, though, he's going to have to rely on a lot of things going right to gain positions right now.
They might have
down
split
in 13th.
They might have split strategies. I might have just said one go ahead, the other one kind of lag behind and see what happens. But here we go, and again, Dakota wasting no time, but then again, also on the restart, Pinero wasting no time, and they're already really racing hard in the back near Joe Ribeiro and Stephen Lee and Adriano Forporti.
Very close battle here in the back end of the top 10. Ribeiro, I think, got bogged down off of 2. Lee looking to the outside in 3. No, not quite enough room to get up alongside. But this battle in the mid-pack here, this is turning into quite a tussle right now as they work their way around, I believe.
That's a lap car
that
there.
Is a lap car right there.
Ryan Battle.
Ryan Battle, who was involved in that incident earlier. brought out the yellow. Lee getting held up right now by this lap car. He's got to be fuming a little bit right now. Get this lap car out of my way. Battle running that higher line there. Can Lee get by him? And this is allowing Ribeiro to close up on Brian's spots potentially, as he's in a battle with Trace Shadid for 6th.
Here's Matt Houston looking to the get into the top 10 in the battle with Al Marrera.
And look at this battle too. Murphy and Marquez for 3rd. Marquez to the inside once again. He got a good run in the middle of the corner off of 2 right now. Murphy way up there on that high line there. He'll get the launch on exit for sure that time. Marquez trying to gain himself a podium out of this race. Be great to see him in this first one-off appearance that we've seen him on the Monday night broadcast. But Murphy already playing very good defense right now as I'm looking behind him. Brian Spots shoots to the outside of Shadid.
Yeah.
Side by side in 1 and 2. Spots looking to the high side right now. That's a great bunch of momentum there. Oh, Shadid not quite getting the run he wanted there. Lose that spot, unfortunately.
Looks
Moves
like we
up to 6th.
have a pass for the lead. It looks like Pinero has worked his way around the maid and is now already a second, almost 1.2 ahead of DeMay there. So that was quick. While we were watching the action in the back, not sure when that happened, but Pinero puts the move on DeMay and is now setting sail like he did in the first stint.
Yeah, it was 3 laps ago he made that pass for the lead. Sadly, we missed that. It was a pretty straightforward maneuver, getting the launch off of turn number 2. But now Marquez starting to deal with Ryan Eric King behind him for 4th.
Yeah, Ryan really closed in there in the corner. I don't know if Marquez might have had I wonder if Marquez might have had some contact with the wall or something, because Ryan Eric King is really closing in the corners, and looks like Marquez is also really defending super hard. He looks to be off the pace now.
Yeah, something strange going on there.
King
really lost a lot of momentum there on the high side.
3 wide, going to the 3.
Still side by side. Spots up on the top side there. He'll get the run off the corner this time. But something has gone wrong, it seems, with Marquez. He's losing a lot of positions.
I think he might have had a collision contact with the wall, possibly.
I'm not seeing any looking back there before, but perhaps some technical issue may have happened here, because this is not where Marquez is running on the track when everything's okay.
Mark Murphy on the inside of Dakota on turns 1 and 2, side by side down the backstretch, still side by side going in the 3. Very close corners.
The low side there.
Murphy with the late entrance in the 2 forces Dakota up a little bit, and Dakota's not done. Back to the inside, going into 1 and 2.
Here he comes, Dakota DeMay to the low side once more. Not quite enough though. Murphy will get the launch off the corner for certain. There he goes. But looking behind him, that Marquez still dropping down through the field still. I'm thinking this has got to be a technical issue, perhaps, with Andrew Marquez. Maybe that whole thing, that pedal issue, maybe it's come back a little bit.
Yeah, the way he's coming down the straights, he's moving off to the inside almost to allow cars to take that high line around him. And there goes Ribeiro now side by side. He's going to take that high line around. Might not get it this time, but will get it going into 1 and 2. Ribeiro trying to get the draft.
Yeah, something's definitely not quite right there with Marquez right at the moment there. Running that middle line down the straightaway and not quite giving himself the momentum he needs going into the corner. I think something's definitely up.
Meanwhile, back up front, Pinero off 5.6 seconds to the lead.
Yeah, we knew he had the better pace right the whole time over Dakota DeMay. It was only a matter of time. He was kind of playing with his food a little bit, I guess you could say. And Pinero, once again, doing a Pinero, it would seem. It was like for a couple of seasons ago, I remember like Chris Demerit doing Chris Demerit things. Well, now it's Adriano Pinero doing Adriano Pinero things.
as he's starting to move along. Now we got this not quite a battle. I think everything's kind of settled down here for second between Murphy, DeMade, and Spots. Got Ryan Eric King back here with Trey Shadid in a battle, not quite a super tight battle for 5th and 6th, but they are still in close proximity nevertheless. Marquez is definitely holding his own now against Ribeiro. I'm not sure if maybe he got the didn't look at the last lap times when Marquez was having issues. Oh, here goes Ribeiro looking at the inside. He was going to send it. He was going to send it. He was like, man, I'm tired of this. I want to buy it. And he was going to send it, and it didn't work out. But I think whatever issue Marquez might have been having, it is solved now. But I think it's really got Ribeiro frustrated.
Oh, I'm sure it is right now. Ribeiro wants to get this spot right now. He's getting a great launch off the corner there. I'm not sure, perhaps. Marquez may not be getting quite the run he needs there. Little bit of a wiggle there, it looked like. But Ribeiro, as we're coming to 6 laps to go in this battle, he's running out of time to make moves happen.
Battle for 3rd. DeMade and Spots getting on by. Dakota just kind of got to hang on, hoping for a top 5 out of this with these worn tires of his. 67 laps now on this current set.
5 laps to go. Dakota's only got 5 laps to hope that he has enough fuel there. I'm sure he knows whether he does or not by now. And if he's keeping going like this, he's definitely got it right now. But can he hold off Ryan Eric King? Looking at their lap times there, it's about 0.2 of a second advantage pace-wise for Ryan Eric King and Trey Shadid right now. They are quicker, but it's not quite going to be enough to come over the 2-second gap over them that Dakota DeMay currently.
Yeah, Dakota just needs to hit every mark perfect between now and the end of this race. And right now, Ryan really is under attack from Trace, so I don't see these two reeling in Dakota unless they work together. And at this point in the time in the race, when you're looking at a difference between a top 10 and a top 5, I think these two are going to battle it out.
Yeah, I don't see much teamwork happening between these two. They're not even on the same team, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope. Sometimes mid-race, you'll look at the driver in front of you, or, you know, if the driver in front of you is a smart driver, then they'll know when to work with you, when not to work with you. It's not always the case when it comes to iRacing, but when you get to these higher splits, sometimes it's better to work with the guy in front of you in order to track down that next spot up instead of fighting it out and losing ground. But these two now are getting situated, but we're down into the final lap, and Adriano Pinero, already most of the way done through his lap through 3 and 4, and he is looking at a checkered flag in another dominant race for the Brazilian.
Pinero with the victory once again. Brilliant drive once more by Adriano Pinero. Another textbook work there. Mark Murphy over the line, 8.8 seconds in arrears in P2. Brian Spots rounds out your podium. Dakota DeMay holds off Ryan Eric King. Trey Shadid. Marquez did indeed hold on to P7. Gil Ribeiro, Stephen Lee, and Matt Houston comes away with a top 10 at the end of the night.
Not bad. He was up, let's see, Matt up 4 spots there. Your biggest gainer is Spots, who, Spots got the most spots. He got 10 spots on his way to P3. Name. Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's final results before we jumping into the interview room. Pinero with yet another win. Mark Murphy, another solid podium. I believe this is a 3rd or 4th of the season, or in a very short amount of time. Brian Spots, P3. Dakota DeMay was solid top 5. Ryan Eric King, great run for him, a top 5. So he's gonna take that into a speedway race later tonight, hopefully. That's going to be good momentum for him. Trey Shadid, P6. Andrew Marquez, P7. We'll find out probably later what happened to him. Joe Ribeiro, P8. Go ahead.
We actually have a report, by the way, from Marquez, in fact, saying in the chat that his wheel stopped shifting for the last 20 laps. So a shifter issue was what did him in.
Wow. And he was able to hold on to that position without shifting any gears. Probably should have got on board or would have found out that was the issue. We're seeing him not shifting. Stephen Lee, P9, Matt Houston, P10, Morera, Mercer for Porty, Battle Irwin, making up your top 15 there. And going on to the next page, if we get there. There it is. Garcia, Ragon, Miranda, White, and Roman Zini making up the top 20 car field here. 13 cars on a lead lap. For 40 was the last car in the lead lap. And there you have it.
Pretty rough night, I must say, for Adriano Forporti. He seemed like he was struggling quite a bit tonight.
All right. Let's do real quick, just refresh the overlay here. So it's running a little bit on the doggish side.
And I see Dakota DeMay and Mark Murphy in for the interview.
All right. We'll bring them in here. Hey, Mark, got you in the booth here at Gary and Steven. Hey, another appearance, another podium. Congrats.
Yeah, one more step up, right?
Yeah,
that's the goal. I don't know that any of us had anything for Adriano. That guy was in a different zip code, and it's pretty cool to see what he does. But you know, it was pretty satisfying to be the best of the rest, I guess.
Best in class for sure. What were the conditions like out there?
It was really, really super understeery for about 5 laps to me, and then it progressively gripped up until it was like driving a sprint car at Eldora.
Oh.
The last 10 laps of that long run that we had to start the race, I was really hanging on bad. Matter of fact, I was talking about short pitting because I had just worn my right rear out. So different guys using different stuff, but I really wore my right rear out bad. So it was challenging. I think I changed a weight jacker 30 or 40 times during a run, just trying to find it, changing lines, changing weight jacker, trying to find what would work.
Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, and the way this track is, of course, it's I described it in the pre-race show. It's basically the opposite of the Milwaukee Mile, even though it's the same length. What would you say is like the biggest difference you feel between those 2 mile tracks, and which one would you prefer over the other?
I mean, I've never run good at Milwaukee, so this one for sure. This is where I got my first USF 2000 win, way back when I started iRacing.
Oh wow!
So I really do like this track. I do. The biggest difference is this track has a little bit more banking to it, and you got that dark strip at the top. It's either the PJ1 or it's either PJ1 or it's different pavement. But as the race goes, the top really grips up, so you have 2 true lines, which makes it more fun. Milwaukee's just 1 groove, but this one's 2 lanes all the way around for sure.
So yet another good showing by your squad today. Anybody you want to say hi to, shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, man, I gotta thank Trace, of course. It's good to see him run good.
Yeah, got a P7. Got a P7 there. Solid top 10 for him.
Yeah, it's good to see him run good. He's had some bad luck recently, so like to congratulate him on that. He's been needing that for a while. I'd like to say hi to Natalie and AJ in the other room watching. My parents watching at home. Got to thank Black Magic for the paint. Those guys do an amazing job. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun racing with Dakota and Brian up there. That was a lot of fun. I'm wore out. I'm gonna go have a I'm gonna go have a cold refreshment and watch a race on TV, I think.
All right, well, you earned it. Congratulations on the podium, and we'll see you at Joliet next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gary, Steven, keep doing a great job. Say hi to Dakota for me.
We shall. We try our best, man. Congrats, and we'll see you in a week.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
We'll go ahead and bring up Dakota. Hey, Dakota. Looks like you decided to go the long way for the top 5. Tell us about your race. I'm assuming when that second caution came out, that's exactly what you did not want to see.
No, it was tough to pass. I definitely felt like I was the second or third fastest car out there. So I decided to pit early and just feel safe to the end there. I either wanted a quick caution or just like no caution at all, but came out right in the middle there. And even with no cautions, I still think Pinheiro had enough speed to pit and still beat me. But yeah, just trying to hold off those guys on old tires. I gave it a good fight, but yeah, those new tires were more important than I thought they would be. So,
what do you think? What do you think Pinheiro was? Where was he fastest than everyone else? Where was he making time up on people?
Everywhere. I mean, he had a 10-second lead at the time of the caution, and he ran away with us in 10 seconds in like the last 15 laps there. So. I'll have to. I know he's on Twitch. I'll have to take a look and see what bars he was using because he was hooked up, man.
he was. I don't know where he was in terms of how he was so fast all the way around. And if he would ever come onto the Discord, we would ask him that question. It was just speculation on our part that he must have been driving it super deep into the corners or something.
Yeah, believe me, I would have my notepad ready.
Yeah, it's a fun track though. This is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. The high line is like a different. I mean, you can see it's a different texture, and it definitely has like a different grip to it. So the high line doesn't really grip as much, and people were still trying to use it. And I was even able to pass a few cars there on map 5. So.
Okay. So when you say that you finished on map 5, how much did you finish within the tank?
I was good to go at that second caution, so I was just running map 1 from there.
Oh, okay.
And, and then I finished with just over a gallon, so I had another 4 laps, I think.
Yeah.
So right on the nose there without yeah. So.
Well, not too bad. Yeah, I'd imagine that you probably didn't want to see that second caution come out. That's what we were hypothesizing here in the broadcast.
Me too. You could just see it, like you can see the wind just totally just ripped away from you. Like, no, don't spin, no.
Now, did you and Matt openly decide to split strategies in about you go ahead and race to the front, and then Matt would just kind of hang out in the back, or that's how it worked out because of how traffic and the restart happened to unfold in front of you?
I think Matt was saving a little bit more than I was. I decided I wanted to pass cars quickly, just in case if they wanted to hold me up. And I think that's what ended up happening to Matt, as he kind of got caught in traffic there. So it definitely wasn't planned split strategy. I definitely wanted Matt behind me at all times, as a shield. Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes.
All right, well, we'll let you go because I know you got to get ready for another race tonight. And so congratulations on the top 5, and we'll talk to you in a bit.
Yep, thank you.
All right, bye.
See ya.
We didn't give him a chance for shout-outs, but, just go to Steam, type in Echo Blade, and buy it. That's what you want to do when if you want to help out Dakota there. Go to Steam, type in Echo Blade, buy it. It's right now Steam's having their summer sale, and you can get that at a good price. So now I guess for us, we now move on to yet another week of the 4D Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split, and we're going to a track that I guess no longer, or is in the process of no longer existing, in Joliet there, Chicagoland. We've been to Chicagoland a couple times in the last couple seasons, and it seemed to be a bit of a pack race. Where the low line, if you controlled the low line, you controlled the tempo and the race. Do we expect to see more of the same?
that will largely come down to how the setup is feeling for Chicagoland Speedway. Of course, we saw the last time we were there, and of course, as you've seen with the Indy Racing League in the past, and later IndyCar as well, they would have monstrous pack races in the old cars, 3 wide finishes, some of the closest finishes in IndyCar history to this very day, and that's one form of racing we can expect. But another one also is the sort of stuff where you're looking for the clean air and you're not quite getting the pack that you would expect. So Chicagoland can be an interesting dichotomy. It can be 2 different racetracks depending on the setup you have, and I'm interested to see how it's going to feel. And also, the whole thing about Chicagoland sadly being ground down, it may not actually happen. The track may actually still have a lease of life in it, from what the folks like David Land have been saying.
Interesting. Well, that's a little something that we can Google up after the race. But that's next week at Chicagoland. Any final or parting thoughts before we get on out of here?
Well, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, I personally, as I've said before, has never really been my personal favorite track, but tonight really shows that it is an appreciated track by a lot of people. It's challenging. It throws people for a loop, and you honestly need those kind of challenges at some point in your racing career. And this track is one of those tracks that do it. We saw it here tonight. Pinero, of course, once again, he mastered the challenge better than anybody, and he once again comes off with a victory. But the battling behind him here, it's showing that this is no one lane fits all kind of racetrack.
All right, so that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here from Loudon is Adriano Pinero with yet another win. Mark Murphy getting to say this, but yet another podium for Mark, and Brian Spots finishing there on the 3rd step. Join Steven and myself again next week for round 4, the Indy Fixed Top Split of Season 3 of 22, coming to you from the home of Joliet, Jake. That's Joliet, Illinois, and the Chicagoland Speedway. Coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 Eastern Time. It's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And you can find everything here on YouTube at youtube.com/RaceFirst. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you the last 3 Indy Fix seasons. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage on the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our Season 3 of 2022 Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split Broadcast Fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Monday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support Race First with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And if you're new, click subscribe, and while at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more of Race First's iRacing programming. So we want you to know, keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. Race First Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split naming rights are paid for by 4D RACEWEAR. 4D are the makers of ultimate gear and apparel designed specifically for sim racing. Check them out at 4dracewear.com or click in the link in today's stream description. For business inquiries to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. Here's all of our Twitter handles right here at the bottom of the page. Feel free to add us. So for Stephen Larkamp, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gonzo saying to all good night and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week at Chicago for the next race of the 4D RACEWEAR Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split. Good night.